And joining us this morning is State Senator Hansen Clarke, the Democratic nominee for the 13th Congressional District. Have you had any sleep so far overnight?
A little bit. You know, I was campaigning before this 24 hours, so I've only got a couple hours of sleep total for the last few days.
He's still smiling.
No kidding, no kidding. So 47% to 41%, you won the nomination. Did you see this coming?
Well, I know that the voters were really tired of the political system in Detroit, and that's what's being overthrown right now. It's not just the Kilpatrick family, but in my opinion, for decades, the political culture in the city really hasn't served the taxpayers. People would run for office in Detroit so they could enjoy the perks of office, not to serve the public. And that was to the detriment of the city and the region. And people selected me because they were tired of that system, and they wanted a new, fresh image for the region that would attract jobs and families back here. And that's why I believe we won last night.
One of the things that you said throughout your campaign was people aren't going to have to work to find me. I'm going to the streets to find them. With that being said, and you now winning this position, what is your first step? Where do you have to focus on?
Getting jobs, and I'm going to be reaching out to Department of Labor officials in Washington, D.C., who I met with during the middle of my campaign just last week, to see how we can better train Metro Detroiters for existing jobs that are in high demand. And then I'm going to move forward to see how we can create new jobs like Franklin Roosevelt did to get our country out of the Depression. We also need to take that type of aggressive action to get Metro Detroit out of this economic recession.
I believe your GOP opponent in November is John Haller of the Grosse Pointe Woods area. And, you know, some people think, hey, you know, this is a heavily Democratic region, this district, and that it's a slam dunk now that you have the nomination. How do you see it?
Well, I don't take any election for granted. However, I really don't have time to be involved with politics right now. People need to get to work. We need to stabilize home values. We need to reduce the cost of insurance premiums, and we need a better trade policy. And I've got to work on these things immediately. That's why I started working on them before I won the election yesterday, and I'm going to continue focusing on creating new jobs and training people for current jobs. That's my main focus right now, is turning around our regional economy as quickly as possible. That means me getting to work today on these issues.
Quickly, Carolyn Sheets Kilpatrick, gracious in defeat, 7 terms there. Do you see those as big shoes to fill?
I represent the taxpayers of the region, not any political leader. So it's going to be easy for me to serve the taxpayers because I'm going to listen to them. They tell me what they need. They want jobs. They want their costs reduced as low as possible. They don't want this huge federal debt that's being expanded and that eats up all of our tax dollars. So I'm going to be very conservative in terms of how we spend taxpayer money, but I'm going to make sure I'll be a strong advocate for people who need help in this region.
Well, the Democratic nominee for the 13th Congressional District, Hansen Clarke, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having me here. I really appreciate this.
Go get some caffeine.
Absolutely. Yeah. Double espresso, maybe triple right now.
That's what we do sometimes. So. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.